Yama a T4 ni ahwefo akwababa eye Akroma TV so best so say you for best subscribe to channel no mo click a notification bell no so that be ya news bi aba on san betimi akabi na o adwenche bi aso na dey to eye comment section ho ama ye na nsem wa yesa kan ene dey beto dwa ama eye T4 eye on Thursday the 21st of this month eye demonstration because e Ghana ha na amatoni din eye Occupy Julubi House eye demonstration no which was organized by Oliver Vormawor and call for. You know, ama Maurice Ampaw they able to just say this baka guy no. That you think say we above the law and assessing. We police for as we trace some person we demonstration no. Police for a catch on say omuntimi occupy Jubilee House because a security zone. Inti omokachom said they have to change the route of the demonstration no. But demonstrators now say Emma police for the court the injunction also. But then still now Vormawor and call for so now came out on Thursday to do the demonstration. And on Ama Maurice Ampaw say I call say why lawyer and so embrapa so be dimbraso the dabi because when a time during fake the country demonstration a police for actually to sell more for days are on releasing because also a lawyer the country is suffering but then Yama was simple say they should say Yanka say Yama on your demonstration but then a quite say never say away but the guy says they be on this so but despite said the police a car say Hena Oma by a demonstration because called the injunction out so no still na by on Thursday no ma police for a mom lady a demonstration to Emma acquire like assembly na ma lawyers more Ampaw akikana adwache Vormawor say lawyer pa you can't interpret law because a man say do who crime but then police say any boy inti munyan fa say na say wound this wa any na lawyer no anything na all kasa no so say me prepare to you inti yen say it from me be ko na pa put a lawyer Maurice Ampaw na dwenche Occupy Julubi House demonstration ho
now lawyer Ampaw me should be the kase for 3 days ago Ghana experiencing serious disturbances of our peace. Police are saying Sika Ako protecting people who feel aggrieved and dissatisfied with the hardship that is going on in this country, and they have issues with the governance system. And the constitution, as rightly said, grants everybody the right to demonstrate. But you see, your right to demonstrate is regulated by law. There is nothing like absolute right. Your right to demonstrate is regulated by law. When we are talking about and people have right, and then President Kufuor is talking about people has right, and will be at the car, and then the constitution grants right. To me, it's the same constitution regulate that right. Say all right to demonstrate is regulated by law, by the same constitution. And please, the fact say what fahudie say baby bino, say fahudie no imra da ho. And they say if you are not ready to comply with the laws, you are not ready to go by the due process and regulations, you will be denied that right. Simplicity. So please, people who are talking and right. Every right is not absolute. And yes, I'm not going Jimmy. Obia, sorry, I have the right. We are not living in a society. There is no regulations and rules of law. Because what Nyame Peno say, Yama Kwena Meya, everything to be found here so. So the rights are under chapter 5 of our constitution. No, it's not absolute. It's subject to certain conditions. One, all right to demonstrate is subject to the laws of the land and the constitution. One, it's subject to what we call the public interest. It's subject to the public moral. It's subject to the public national security and other interests. And if, for example, who to be say me your right to dress, me person me say me ho, and me say me ho obi eni ho me na me tomato matade na me share nti me share na me share ma emu a constitutional guarantee say yes, you have the right to dress, but whether you dress, your right to dress is limited by the public moral, the public good. You can't dress anyhow. And as if, for example, you have the right to have sex. It will say, you have the right sex. Say, what does the law have to do in my bedroom? There may be all right to have sex. Is regulated by the Criminal Offences Act and the Constitution. You cannot have sex without the law guaranteeing that. For example, Obi only 15 years, they have to be having sex. So they are laws that regulate sex. And in the same way, freedom to assemble, freedom of movement is regulated by law. So I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to share here, and there are some professors they will learn today for my program. They will learn. And in the same way, what is happening in our system. There is this guy called lawyer Oliver Becker. From the demeanor, he is somebody who believes he has to go all out and get whatever he wants, regardless of the public interest, the national security, the rule of law, regardless of due process. This is the guy who said that Occupied Bank of Ghana people are cowards, are timid. But even if the court grants indulgence, they should defy that indulgence. You see, we are in this country, and when we glorify certain behavior, and we have senior citizens don't check this behavior, we will run ourselves into trouble. This Becker guy, radical, and he has decided, he will run this country in a way, not the way the Constitution has set up. And he takes one aspect of the Constitution, which is the freedom and the right to demonstrate, and then decided that he will not go through due process. He will not regard rule of law. He will not subject that right to the public interest, to the public moral, to the national security, to the public good. That is the limit. And he told you that when you want to demonstrate, and it's in the public good for not you to demonstrate, that right will be taken away from me from time. Will be restrained. The court has the power. Our constitution, the court exercises what we call final judicial power. And that final judicial power, what it means is that court, at any given time, can restrain you from exercising your right. That's what we call prohibition or restraining order. It is done by the court. So people don't talk about right as if right is something which is absolute. Right, and you do whatever you want. No. The court can restrain you from exercising a particular right at a particular time. And as criminals have rights, your sentence will be called prisoner. They have a right. By what is that the right is dictated by law, by the Constitution. Bible said, "You were doing your own crime," but I didn't never tie. So at times, in the interest of public moral, in the interest of national security, in the interest of the national good, in the interest of what public morals, half. This same Constitution says that your right can be curtailed or restrained for a time when it is conducive for you to exercise that right. Those human rights activists, anytime you want to talk, there's a right. Every right has a limitation. Secondly, every right goes with a corresponding duty. So under chapter 5 of our Constitution, that talks about the rights now. And Article 41 of our Constitution also talk about duties. You can't enjoy a right without performing your duties. You can't appropriate and reappropriate. You have the right to demonstrate, but you know that there's a duty for you to comply, obey the laws of the land. Go and read Article 41 of our Constitution. Talks about the duty of every citizen. Every citizen has duties. One, to obey the laws, to do the public good, to work in public. These are duties that is imposed by the Constitution on citizens. So when citizens decide to go after the right but refuse to comply with their duties imposed on them, no, why do you enjoy that right? You don't say that I have a right when you have a duty. You have the duty to assist the law enforcement agencies to ensure that there is peace and stability. You have the duty to expose wrong. You have a duty to protect the image of the country. You have the duty to assist your community to develop the nation. You have the duty to ensure that the environment is safe and clean. These are duties provided under Article 41 open the so-called professors and those who support this impunity, those who think that demonstration is a right that has no duty. God, let you learn from this program. Now, let's now look at the behavior and conduct of these Jolobi demonstrators. You decided to go on demonstration and decided to go by the Public Order Act, which requires, you inform the police, you put the police on notice, you have a chat with the police. The police have a duty to protect you. See, because every demonstration, it leads to the assemblies of people who are aggrieved, bitter. Some of them, obi yaudie, obi kwadanda, obi jimisem, obi awo bodem ni a jolly demonstration. Demonstrators are not normal people. Everybody who is demonstrating has a problem. Let me tell you. As Obia court be normal. It's like court, going to court. People who go to court have problems. If you don't have a problem, you don't need court. And the people who go to court have issues. They have issues. A people with mental problem, a people with mental agony. That's why people go to court. The same way people who go to hospital are sick. And the demonstrators are people who are peeved. They are angry. They are mad. Psychologically, some of them are mad. So that is why demonstrators, when they go on the street, they misbehaved. They provoke the peace. They use violence. That is why the police is there to manage these people. And when you seek the services of a police, they must give you time, agree on a date, and also make sure it will not inconvenience them, because the police is not there because of demonstration. I think police say demonstrators every second, demonstration every second. The police has a bigger duty. They protect the internal security. Police have to, once they are assisting and monitoring demonstrators, they must not close their eyes from armed robbery and other security matters issues. So the police by numbers, by resources and time are constrained at any given time. And it's a whole tell as a citizen. Now you have the right to demonstrate. And if you are going to demonstrate, you are going to inconvenience the public. Some of them also understand the ruling government. Listen to me. Jolobi follow. Ghanaians, our 30 million people, those who hit the streets, your number cannot even exceed 1 million people. You are not 1 million. It means that about 29 million Ghanaians are also thinking. Some may not agree with you. If those who were on the street, if we were to release MPP sympathizers, pro-government sympathizers onto the street, can you imagine them? There will be chaos. And people were going about their normal duty. You are going to inconvenience people. put extra cost on their life. So the police must give you protection. And when the police says that, look, we are constrained, you say no. You are bound of going. This Vormawor style, we don't accept anything. Unreasonable behavior from this unreasonable lawyer. A lawyer who thinks that he will see Obama Brochre, then he comes to Ghana and foment trouble. I use the word. Vormawor doesn't stay here. He doesn't practice in Ghana. He stays outside Ghana. This is the country. And we foolishly, some of us foolishly follow this guy. Who has 2 passports? He can leave the country at any time. He can leave the country at any time. His family and everything is outside the country. But Becca, family being here. All of us, they are there. It's a movie system, of a creative problem for the security agency and bad image for the state. No, then he runs away. He has cases all over. Now, listen to me. These demonstrators, the police realized that they were about to create problem. They went to court and sought prohibition order, injunction. We know that in law, when you have notice of a process, you must respect that process. So police, they say they have prohibition order filed. You don't need the court to sit on that matter. If you respect due process, these demonstrators said unless they've had notice, but to them they have not personally been safe, so they don't care. And they went to the street and misbehaved for the first day. And after misbehaving and provoking the peace, when the police acted, we have people, human rights, including President Kufuor, and I respect human rights. President Kufuor, you are talking about human rights, and rule of law. Then we have a National Commission for National Media Commission, and they are right, and then we have Professor Bia Okotra Joy, and then their constitutional rights have been breached. And then we have a lot of people who have not read this law. That when these same demonstrators were insisting on their right, forgetting that that right is derived from law and the Constitution. And if you want the Constitution to protect that right, to help you to enforce that right, you must respect the same Constitution and due process. You want to organize the program. Now the police goes and file an application, serve your lawyers, put you on notice. No matter how you got the notice, you wrote a letter to say that you have received, but you disbelieve it. What prevents you from confronting the police? But you decided to go and do chaos, misbehave on the streets to get attention of those who sit down and think that human right is in the vacuum. Human right, we eat human right. Human right in the name of human right. People are misbehaving in the name of human right. They are killing people in the name of human right. They are misbehaving. The human right activists believe they must be given the right to do what they want to do. But they don't want to also respect the law that they derive that right from. You cannot enjoy your right while ignore the law. The police has a duty to maintain peace and order. The police must maintain peace and order. You can't force the police on the street. You cannot bring them on the street. The court, if you respect the court, when there's a process of court, you must give respect to that process. You ignore the process of the court, although you were made aware through your own letter that you have notice of that document, but you discard it. And President Kufuor, you didn't see all those things. Then you tweet, President Kufuor tweets, and a human right and rule of law. And then Amnesty International, and their right who told them their right were abused. He who seek equity must do equity. He who seek equity must do equity.